Hi, my name is Penny Peirce, and I'm a professional intuitive. I'm the author of The Intuitive Way and several other books about consciousness development. And I'd like to tell you a little bit about my newest book called Frequency, The Power of Personal Vibration.
When I go into the material in the book, the whole realm of this body of information, it's actually a living experience of a new reality that's one that I've been waiting for a long, long time. That on Earth we're about to enter into a reality that's very similar to the one we're in when we're in spirit. And for the first time maybe in history of the planet, we're going to know how really effortless and joyful things are. And it's just the very beginning of this revelation, but I'm excited to be able to be in on the description of this. And that new reality is really based on the fact that everything is made of energy, and that energy is conscious, and that the energy that we identify with and hold as our self, the energy we relate to, determines the world we live in and the things we see. And then the things that we see, that we've created, feed back to us and reinforce the reality that we're creating, or the energy, the frequency that we're holding in our bodies. So we can get into a downward spiral where things go slower and slower because of a dense vibration or a dense frequency or a slow frequency. And then we go into suffering. But if we hold a higher frequency and identify with a higher frequency, then we get open and more energetic, and we have more abundance, and we have more ideas and more possibility, and things just growing and expanding. So we're at the beginning of a time where we're starting to expand out from the tightest place we've ever been. A simple way to say that would be that we really are all made out of energy. We're vibrating inside of ourselves, and everything around us is vibrating. Even the earth is vibrating, and it's accelerating right now. We're speeding up. We each have our own personal frequency, our own personal vibration, and that's made out of a combination of your spirit, your thoughts, your emotions, and your physical body's vibration. And that is unique to you, and it varies all the time depending on what you've been exposed to in the world. If you get around a person of low frequency who's depressed, your energy will go down. If you get around someone who's really happy, your energy goes up. The power of your personal vibration means that you have a choice about what frequency you want to vibrate at. You can either let your frequency be determined by the outside world, which is very changeable and usually pretty negative, and you're at the effect of this chaos. Or you can learn to let your frequency be determined by your inner world, which is where your soul's energy resides, and that we call the home frequency. So if the book helps you learn to find that inner home frequency, to easily identify it and put the memory of the home frequency state back into your body. So we're in some ways tossed around by the world, and especially now when the world seems to be falling apart and we're losing money and jobs and housing and all our security, we're being confronted daily with fear. And that means our frequency is going down in a parallel way with the stock market. So the best thing that we can learn to do right now is to maintain our stability in the midst of this chaos. And to know that you have a very core vibration that's called the home frequency is the key to doing this. So we can tune in to the essence of who we really are and find the frequency within ourselves that never varies. It's the vibration of our soul. And it's the vibration of how you feel when you really love being yourself. That's your home frequency. When you feel you're doing your best work or being your best self. And that has been the same for you for your entire life and probably for lifetimes. So what the book is about is largely how to recognize that home frequency, how to recenter in that home frequency, and how to stay in it in order to live in a chaotic world. And then how to do specific things, looking at the world as an energy world rather than as a solid world. So things like problem solving, things like having better relations, things like materializing things that you want and need, and also spiritual growth.